Shout out to Tekken Underground. Thank you for showing the retro Tekken series some love, and thank you for helping put together this repackage. Secondly, thank you to the team at DuckStation for assembling such a wonderful emulator that allows this functionality to be possible. And thank you to Ren, the developer of Arkadyzja, for putting things all together in a functional and intuitive fashion. Let's continue. First things first, you want to go to the Tekken Underground Discord, and you want to grab the link that says Repack. Arkadyzja underground repack.rar. Once you've extracted the repack and you've got it going, it should look a little something like this. You want to start up Arkadyzja either with the launcher or the other button, and you want to make sure it's updated to at least version 0.26. That is the most recent version, but if you don't have that version or it's having an issue updating or something like that, you can download the latest version by clicking this link. Once you're here, you want to go type in whatever username you want. This is not making an account. You don't have to verify it. You just make a name. You write it, and you get in. The create session is when you're actually picking a game to play and making a session for other people to join, and then the waiting list is what it sounds like. These are essentially the lobbies that are open for people to join them. Now, before you go joining any lobbies or creating any, there are two very important graphic settings we need to change. So you need to go to Create Session. You need to go to whatever game of your choice is. I'm going to use Tekken 3. And before you do this, make sure whichever controller you're using is currently plugged in, because it is a little funky binding controls if you plug in the controller after the game has been launched. You want to do this before the game has been launched. So once you're ready and your controller's plugged in, you click Test Game. That'll boot things up. That'll get things going. And when you're in this menu, I want you to immediately go to the Settings menu, and I want you to go to Display. This is the first thing. This is very important, and if you don't do this, your connection will be laggy no matter who you play with or how close they are. This is very important. You want to switch the basic renderer from whatever setting it is. I believe it starts in OpenGL. You want to switch to Vulkan. So renderer to Vulkan, and then enable Vsync. This button here should be disabled. Enable that, and you're all set. So you close there, and then after that, as I said with the controls, you want to also go over to controllers right here, and when you're in the controllers menu, it'll see the devices you currently have connected, and your fight stick, if you have one plugged in, or your gamepad, whichever one you want, will be shown here. You want to click Controller Port 1, and then you want to do Clear Mapping, and then Automatic Mapping with Digital Controller in mind. Once you do that, you should have controls updated, ready to go. If not, you can bind them yourself. Once that's done, the game's now ready to go. So let's say I want to do a little Paul arcade mode. Currently using my Victrix Fight Whatever pad. Works very well. I think I used 3 or 4 different pads with this game. They have all automatically binded just fine. A little Death Fist, a little Shredder Kick. There we go. And a little Meteor. And Shredder. There you go. All right. GG's. Okay. So with that done, now we're going to show you how to host. Once you are doing that, or we're going to show you how to join a game, rather. Once you're actually in the mood to host the game rather than just play it yourself, you create session here. And when you do that, you can do a lot of spectators if you want. You do not need a relay server. I think it's recommended, but I don't believe you need it. But if I was to use one, I've been using the number 1. Once you do that, start the session. It'll start just like the old one. And when this is the case and your session is open, in the waiting list, this will be joinable. So once you're doing that, the game will have an action here that you click, and when you click that, you'll be able to join the game and connect. Let's see if somebody does. I think sometimes people jump right in, but there's only a few people online, so regardless. We'll wait for it some other time. But once that is available, you'll see these action buttons here, and just like it says, you can choose to spectate or to join. If you've done things correctly with the Vulkan and the Vsync application, you should be able to smoothly join just about anywhere across the world with at least a playable connection. Some aren't, most are. Thanks for listening. Hope you have a good time.